Hi all, good afternoon. My name is Josh Klein, as Heather may have introduced. So I work alongside Heather in Monmouthshire County Council, and I'm currently heading up the youth service. So I was due to come and talk to you about a project I've been working on since January called Sexting Isn't Sexy. And as you can tell, that's an initiative about sexting. So there are kind of three parts to the resource, if you like. One is aimed at young people, one is aimed at professionals, and one is aimed at parents and the community. So they're the kind of the three sessions available that I currently go out and deliver. The idea is that the resources that I've produced and pulled together will all be available on a website soon. So we're just working on that domain name, and then every part of it, so the lesson plans, the video links, handouts, PowerPoints, all that kind of stuff will be downloadable. Okay, so like I said, we're still working on the web address for that. We've had some issues with the servers and domains and stuff that I don't really understand, but I'm told that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So when that happens and I get the confirmation of the address and everything is uploaded, I'll get Heather to circulate it with the minutes. So in terms of the background to the project, every 18 months in Monmouthshire we do a young people's safeguarding survey, and what that entails is members of the youth service, so youth work staff, they go around to the secondary schools, the primary schools, youth clubs and youth centres, and involved in other youth provision. Okay, so during that safeguarding survey, the purpose is to ascertain how safe children and young people feel in school, at home, and in their communities. Okay, so there are sets of questions that are updated with every survey. So we're just working on the questions for the next survey going forward, which we anticipate will happen in January to March. So the style of delivery is different each time. I think we're looking at moving towards a more online version this time. The last couple of times we've gone in, with, like I mentioned, staff, and they do a lot of group forums, they do group questionnaires, and they kind of facilitate it like that. So what happens with the findings of the survey is they get put in a report and lots of pretty infographics produced, and what happens with that information then is that it goes to a group within Monmouthshire County Council under the LSB/PSB, which looks at wellbeing. Okay, so with the information then that also goes to various other groups, and then the results are kind of analysed. So in the 2015 version, the main findings were to do with children being worried about bullying, staying safe online, and cyberbullying again, and adult gaming. So those three things: bullying, staying safe online, and adult gaming were the three main findings from that. We had some narrative and some other details around that. So what emerged from the findings as well was that sexting was becoming an issue. Obviously there was lots of stuff as well in the press about it. So we took it to that group, which is obviously made up of lots of different PSB members, and what they then did was able to kind of commission the youth service, as it were, to pull together this project. So in terms of the project, the brief I was given was to produce the three resources. So what I was also told is, because there was a lot of stuff going on at the time around sexting in the news and with different organisations, was to kind of speak to people, speak to organisations, look at campaigns and things that were already running, and then to pull that information together, so that I wasn't kind of reinventing the wheel. It was to look at some of the really good quality stuff that was already out there. So I spoke to sexual health outreach workers, I spoke to police, I spoke to police school liaison officers, I spoke to some PSHE teachers, I looked at campaigns from Barnardo's, the NSPCC, Childline, I looked at resources that all of those aforementioned people used, and I kind of pulled it all together into a kind of, a set of resources. So they're PowerPoint based, although I don't tend to use the PowerPoint with the young people. That doesn't work so well. But in terms of professionals and parents, the PowerPoint is, a fine backdrop. There's also lots of videos involved. In particular, NSPCC Share Aware have done a really, really good campaign with some short, really effective videos. They're cartoons, they're sort of animated, but they're really, really good. So they're always really impactful. I delivered a session today to Monmouthshire County Council's social services team and foster carers. So I had 25 of them in, and the videos they worked really well, and they started a really good discussion as a result of that. And there's also some activities. So like I said, it's because people don't often get the chance to talk about sexting. I think it's their opportunity to ask questions, to have discussions, and to kind of, just discuss something that they wouldn't ordinarily do. The evaluations that I've had from all of the sessions that I've done, they've all been very, very positive. The session has been very welcome. It's kind of clarified a lot for people, especially in terms of the law, and kind of, consequences, what happens as a result, maybe also the reasons why people might do it. It's quite interesting to unpack that. So the aims of the sessions, they start off quite basic. Like I said, the aims are just kind of a backdrop, but it's to define sexting, is to be aware of the risks and consequences associated with sexting, and understand the law in relation to sending and receiving images. Okay, so they're the three things that we tried to cover during the session, and the sessions are normally about two hours each, depending on the size of the group, the engagement of the group, and those kind of factors. So I've run, I've kind of lost count of the number of sessions now that I've done. With regard to the work that I've done with young people, the most kind of shell-shocking revelation is with regard to the law and what it means about sending or producing, distributing and storing indecent images of children. I think a lot of people don't realise that a child by definition goes up to the age of 18, so even if someone produces an image of themselves and keeps it on their phone, they are producing indecent images of children, and are in possession of indecent images of children. Then if they send it to people, it's distributing indecent images of children, and then the people that they're sending them to, or the people that are receiving them, whether they've asked for them or not, is also those people possessing indecent images of children. So the legal bit really is impactful with regard to the young people sessions that I do, and it seems to be really good clarification with professionals and parents, so that the message is very strong with regard to that. So I'm not sure there's much else I kind of need to tell you about it. Like I said, the resources will be available online very shortly, and I'll get Heather to distribute the email address for that so you can download them. If you have any questions, again, Heather will be able to give you my email address. It's Josh Klein, which is Klein, at monmouthshire.gov.uk. My mobile number is 07766 094 894. So feel free to give me a call if you've got any questions or anything that you'd kind of like to discuss with regard to the project. Obviously sexting isn't sexy. And I think that's it for the time being. So again, apologies, I couldn't be there in person. I hope this will suffice and has kind of given you a flavour of the kind of work that I've been doing since January with regard to spreading the word about sexting. But like I said, any questions, any queries, if Heather can't answer them in the first instance, please come through to me and I will do my best to respond. So thank you very much for your time. I hope it wasn't too difficult to watch 10 minutes of video with not the best lighting, but enjoy the rest of your afternoon and thank you for listening.